Hey guys, okay, so for today's video, I thought I would share with you some tips and tricks that I do every day with my makeup that help to feminize my face and help to kind of ease some of my dysphoria for my everyday kind of makeup routine.
Ooh, fun, pretty, elegant, exciting.
So before I get started, I just want to say that everybody is different. Everybody has different skin types, bone structures, concerns, flaws. Not everything I say in this video is going to work for you. That's the art, and that's the exciting thing about makeup, is that you can always try something new and you're always evolving and you're always learning new tips and tricks. So basically my goal for this video is to share with you a couple of the tips and tricks that I've learned over the past couple of years, how to more feminize my face, some aha moments that I've had recently, not mistakes, but things that I've learned when I apply my makeup now. I realize what I was doing before wasn't actually really helping to achieve the look that I was actually going for. So I encourage you to take some tips and tricks from this video, but I do, however, want you to refrain from following each step according to as I say it, because again, everybody's face is different and you need to do what's right for you. You know, lip gloss. Nobody likes lip gloss in the corners of their mouth. Alright, so this is me with just a little bit of foundation on. I have recently been loving the Josie Marin Vibrancy foundation. This foundation is so glowy. I use the shade RG50. Very, very rarely will use a foundation on its own. If I do, it will be that one, but I always mix that foundation with other things because I feel like that is a nice hydrating foundation. It has a good coverage, but I also like to mix it with something that has a little bit more longevity and a little bit more staying power. So recently I've been enjoying the Milani Concealing Imperfect 2-in-1. This is in the lightest shade. My friend Vicky actually bought it and it's too dark for her, so she knows that I like to color myself up and use a foundation that's a little bit too dark for me, so she gave it to me and I've been absolutely loving it, you guys. So I've learned over the years that with the type of skin that I have a little bit more texture and I can't do the matte look. Everything just looks dry, it looks textured, it looks worse. It just doesn't look as flawless and radiant if it's matte on me personally. So I always mix in a couple of these custom cover drops. I literally do like 5. I'll do 3 of this one and 2 of this one. I found that in photos, especially if I have more matte skin, the texture of my skin shows a lot more. Where if it's dewy and glowy, it kind of blurs and it kind of just looks fresh. And if it's matte, it just looks dull and kind of old, which isn't cute at all. I do use my trusty handy dandy. I love the Beauty Blender. It makes everything so quick and easy, and it also helps you to not apply too much product, so it keeps you from kind of packing on the product and getting a cakey look. So if you don't have one and you struggle with using your fingers or struggle with a brush, grab the Beauty Blender. Alright, so I have been using this NARS Soft Matte Concealer. This is in the shade Creme Brulee. I've been using that on my lids lately. I do have the type of eyelid to crease, so I do try to use more of a matte base on my eyelid, but I feel like it doesn't matter what I do, I always get creasing. Alright, so lately I've been loving the Too Faced palette. Peach Too Faced palette. It smells like peach. It has beautiful colors in it. So I will take peaches and cream all over, and then I'll use a little bit of white peach in my inner corner. So then I'll take Georgia and Candied Peach. I'll kind of just throw those in my crease. The whole idea that I've realized since doing my makeup for the past 2 years is that sometimes less is more. When you have harsh shapes, when you have harsh lines on your face already, so a strong jawline, a strong nose, you don't necessarily want to go in with anything too harsh on your face. You want to kind of soften everything out as much as you can. So as you can see, I just have a little bit of peach up there. It's not dramatic at all. It's just enough to give me a little bit of definition, and I love it. One of the biggest things that I've been doing recently, pretty much every day, I'll throw on a pair of lashes. Lashes to me make a big, huge difference, and if you can master the art of applying false lashes, I feel like it makes such a difference in the way that, well, first of all, in the way that I feel. Secondly, in the way that I look. Lashes make you look so feminine so easily. So even if you don't feel like you have the talent to do eyeshadow, lashes will make you look so much more feminine so quickly. So I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to apply some lashes and I'll be right back. Lashes are arguably the hardest thing about makeup, about learning how to do makeup, about applying makeup. The most difficult thing I've learned so far, or had to do to myself. Lashes on other people, totally fine. Lashes on myself, hard. If you're out there trying to put lashes on, don't give up. Yes, it feels so hard. Yes, it feels like you'll never get it. That's how I felt when I first started. So just keep trying, because literally you'll get it. I have faith in you. I promise you'll get it. So after lashes, I like to do some brows. One of the things I've kind of learned over the years about brows is that I know it's a big trend to have huge, fluffy brows right now. And yes, you can do that. And yes, do whatever you want. But if you want it to look more feminine, having big, fluffy brows is awesome as long as they're not too huge and as long as they structure your face accordingly. I've also noticed too that for my face shape, it looks a lot more feminine when I don't bring my eyebrows too close together. It looks more feminine when I let them be further apart. Although I do like when I bring them close together, because then it makes my nose look smaller. So it's up and down for me. Sometimes I'll draw them really close. Sometimes I'll draw them farther apart. I'm always using the spoolie to kind of brush everything out. I like to elongate the tail just a little bit. I make like the weirdest face when I'm doing my eyebrows, like literally. It is so easy to go overboard on eyebrows. And as much as I want them to be, they're never going to be perfect, but I love them just the way that they are. Because let's be honest, they could be a lot worse. All right, now that I have my brows on, I'm going to go in and do a little bit more complexion. So basically, I'm going to go in with this Dandelion Twinkle from Benefit. It is just a really soft, pretty highlighter. I don't necessarily do a strong highlight on my cheeks every day, because as we know, highlight does emphasize texture, and I do feel like I have a lot of texture on my cheeks. But every day I do like this one because it does add a highlight, but it also kind of blurs your skin out a little bit. So a tiny little tip, I actually sometimes take eyeshadows as blushes. So kind of whatever I'm wearing on my eye, I'll just take on my blush brush. Blush is something that I've been switching up a lot lately. I've been trying to find a way to do my blush that I really feel flatters my face and gives it more of a round, feminine shape as opposed to a strong, structured shape. So I feel if I do like a strong contour, strong blush, it really emphasizes my thinness. So I like to just kind of smile and apply the blush to the highest, the highest outer half of my cheek. And then I'll kind of blend it and soften it up, but that's where I apply it first, because wherever you apply a product first, that's where it is going to be the most pigmented. And sometimes I just go over a little bit more to give that color. And since I don't set my face with powder, I do kind of like to tap a lot first. Sometimes when you don't set your face with a powder, when you're applying powder on top of something wet and you're trying to blend, it kind of sticks and it'll kind of pick up your foundation. So you have to be a little bit more careful of that. So contouring, I found, because I have such a sharp structure to my jaw, I found that it doesn't necessarily help a lot. I feel like it just makes me look more sharp and more manly if I do it the wrong way. So I actually use the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Palette, and the shade at the top right in the middle, it's called Lazarus. This shade right here is actually a nice cool gray toned gray. It's literally gray. And I use that to contour. So one of my biggest insecurities and one of the biggest things that bring me dysphoria daily would have to be my nose. I feel like my nose is large for the size of my face, and I feel like I have a big lump on my nose. So I will take kind of like a flat concealer looking brush with that gray color, and I will just draw a line on this side, draw a line on the other side. One thing you want to be careful of when you're contouring your nose is that it's wide here and then it gets smaller here and then it gets wider at the end. Don't put the contour where you're already thin, because it'll just emphasize the thinner part even more and make the wider part still look wide. So you kind of have to just do the parts that are bigger so that you're counteracting. My nose contour is something that I haven't mastered yet. I'm still trying new techniques. I'm still figuring out day by day, but lately this is what I've been doing to kind of ease my dysphoria about my nose. As far as contouring the rest of my face, I don't necessarily do it every day. The one place I will kind of do, and I'll take the same color, is my jaws. That just kind of sticks out. So I will put a little bit of the contour there. Second verse, same as the first. So I focus it right here where it's the most protruding. And blend it around my chin. And then a little tiny bit down my neck. And that's the most I will do on a daily. Ugh, itchy nose. But sometimes I'll take the contour and just build my cheekbones a little bit. This is also something that I haven't really figured out what I like the most on me. I haven't really found a perfect way for me to contour that I absolutely love it on myself. I feel like every time I go to do it, I will do it a different way. But basically you want to follow your tragus. And it's very important when I do it that I don't bring it too far because it can kind of, again, make my face look slimmer. That's the idea of contouring. You're either giving definition or you're slimming something out, making something look smaller. All right, so another big thing that I've been doing lately is I've been taking some eyeshadow, just some brown and some black. It doesn't really matter what eyeshadow you use, but I've been putting it on my hairline because I feel like kind of crappy hairline. And even though my hair actually sits nice and frames my face, when my hair does move away, say it's blowing in the wind or something, I find that, I don't know, it kind of upsets me, my hairline, the shape of my hairline. And I typically do that daily because it's something, again, that brings me dysphoria in my everyday life. So all the little things that I can do to help my dysphoria is what I will do daily. So yeah, adding that shadow in, if you don't have like a bad hairline, you don't need to do it, but it just kind of gives you more of a rounder shape. You can do it however you feel like you need to, whatever colors you need to. Obviously, if you have blonde hair, you're not going to use brown and black. It might be a little bit trickier with blonde hair, but if you have red hair or whatever, use warmer browns, more red. I think it was Jaclyn Hill I saw that did that, and I was like, you know what? I need to do that too. All right, we're almost at the end. Depending on how I'm feeling and how much sleep I've had, I will take that same NARS concealer with that brush and add a little bit. And when I do this, I like to bring the concealer up to where I put that line on my nose because it helps to, again, give the illusion of a thinner nose. And I also like to bring it down beside the nose and then out in this triangle shape that you see every YouTuber and every celebrity doing. It's not something new. That's going to give me volume in my cheeks. This side of my nose is like the worst, I swear. And the last thing I do to feminize my face, which I feel like a lot of people do, it's not like a secret, it's not, you know, groundbreaking or anything, but I will overdraw my lips a little bit. So I've been actually liking, I just bought the cheap Essence lip liner because I realized I didn't have any lip liners. I didn't feel like spending a lot of money on them. And I have this Bite color. It's called Madeira. It's just a moisturizing Bite lipstick. It's not super matte or anything. I don't overdraw dramatically. I kind of just overdraw right here at the sides and then a little bit on my cupid's bow and then like a tiny bit underneath my lip. But like I don't go too overboard with it. Tells myself I'm not going to go overboard and then proceeds to go completely overboard. So yeah, this is my everyday kind of go-to look. I do the lashes pretty much every day. I do a little bit in the crease pretty much every day. I do my brows like this every day. I do the hair every day. I do this lip almost every day if I'm not doing something special for my lip. The jawline pretty much every day. The contour in my cheeks I don't do every day. I just wanted to show you that if I do decide to do it, that's kind of like how I do it. I don't bring it too far in. I don't do it too structured because again, more structure sometimes makes you look more manly. I don't know how else to say it. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it inspired you to take some tips and tricks and to try them to do it yourself. If you're out there and you're going through dysphoria and you have a similar concern as to what I go through every day, hopefully that these tips and tricks help you. I have faith in all of you. Don't be discouraged. Practice hard. And most importantly, have fun with it. I'm going to go now. Don't forget to follow my Instagram down below and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Bye.